Welcome to our live stream. It's Wednesday, so that means I have another full English lesson for you. This lesson is for people who are learning English, looking for a community to practice, and I will offer you vocabulary, different types of questions, idioms, sometimes phrasal verbs. I think we don't have any today, but lots of different information to help you up your game when it comes to using English. We have a lovely community. Hello to Alessio, buongiorno, with us every single week. And this is a wonderful place to practice your English. If you don't already follow my account, you can find it here at English with Jen. 1, 2, 3, simple. And that is where we can hang out. I hope you can hear me. Maybe I can get a little feedback on that because yesterday I had issues with my microphone. Hey, Karina, can you hear me? Because yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. So I hope I have solved the problem. Hello, Lorena. We have a lot of familiar faces. We have our local friends. This is our little sort of back room on YouTube where we can meet every week. And every week it looks like we have 1 or 2 extra people who come around. You can hear me. Cool. Okay, this is better. Yeah. So without further ado, hey, Kaluna, dear, welcome, sweetie. I thought it would be fun because a lot of the vocabulary that we had in our quiz yesterday is going to be in this as well. And I have a list of 4 of the vocabulary words. Hey, Mabel, dear, nice to see you. And you can hear me. Very, very cool. All right, I'm going to get rid of this banner. If you don't follow me, if you've not liked this video, you're already here, please just doop. And then that also helps the algorithm to know that this is actually kind of a cool place to be if you want to learn English, practice English. I don't know. It's not really a lesson. I don't know really what to call this. It's kind of an English speaking community. Our topic this week happens to be Pulp Fiction. So it's words, it's topics, it's themes that are related to the movie. Maybe we can take this. I've got, I think, 6 people here already with us. Maybe you can let me know really quickly who of you have seen this film, Pulp Fiction. I'll write it right quick. Pulp Fiction, the Quentin Tarantino movie. And then I think this is fiction. I don't know. My eyesight is really bad today, so this is going to be fun. It feels like it's like one day it's okay, some days it's not. I don't know. So Pulp Fiction, yeah, that looks good. All right. So Pulp Fiction is our movie. Please let me know if you have seen it, just out of curiosity. But I thought before I post my first slide today that offers you a lot of the different phrases that we had yesterday in our live stream, I want to test you first and see what you can remember. So again, movie is Pulp Fiction. So that's what we're talking about. If you've not seen the film, no stress, not a big deal. I know it's a very iconic film, but I haven't seen it. Okay. You've not seen it yet. All right. So what does play with fire mean? What does play with fire mean? You can just give me one word. You can use it in a sentence because I'm curious to see how much you remember from yesterday. If you don't know, you can simply write, I don't know. Play with fire. These are all idioms that are related to the movie in some form or fashion. So play with fire is our first one. Do you remember it? You don't remember it? Not sure. You can use it in a sentence as you like. Let me get something I can use for my little mouse here. Oops. Play with fire seems like you play with danger. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're getting like it's a little bit, you're doing things that are kind of dangerous. Exactly. Yay, Kaluna. Taking a big risk that could be dangerous. Exactly. And I think that my Italian friends said that you have something similar. Hey, Michaela, darling. Yeah, so it's let's see, or think somebody said yesterday, one of my Italian friends, that is something that is similar in the Italian language as well. So that one's easy. Pulp Fiction, one of the best films of Tarantino, with John Travolta. He had the best performance and won a prize. Yeah, maybe. I have no idea. I would imagine that this film won a lot of awards, definitely. I don't remember it. If I've seen this film, no stress. Um, joking with dangerous situations. Yeah, we have the equivalent idiom. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, here we go, Alessio. Hey, Yuki, sweetie, welcome. It's Giocata Dol. Is that a D or a C? My eyesight is so bad. I think Dol. Dolfuko. I have no idea. All right, Yuki, hello. And so we're going through the idioms that we learned yesterday. You were one of the ones that said, oh my gosh, there's so much that's new. So we're having a big repeater today. Caught red-handed. What did that mean if you get caught red-handed? Quick little answer here, and then we'll throw up our first slide, which has all of these on it. So if you don't remember, no stress, but I just wanted to test you to see how much you remembered. So let's see. I haven't watched it yet. I wasn't able to attend yesterday's class too. Okay, Kalina, cool. So then there's a lot of this that's a repeat from yesterday. Yeah, but it seems like you're doing pretty well. So far, so good. So, caught red-handed. Anybody have an idea? You can tell me I don't remember or it means da, 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 caught doing something wrong. Exactly, Alessio. What about if someone is in hot water? I think this is so visual, right? If someone is in hot water, what does that mean? Caught in the act. Exactly, Kaluna. Yeah. Caught red-handed, caught in the act, right in the middle of doing something bad. You get caught red-handed, committed a crime and you get caught. So if somebody is in hot water, you're in trouble. Exactly. They are in an intense situation. Yes, you're in trouble. Hello to you. Leticia, hi, darling. Welcome on board. Nice to have you again today. I have you 2 days in a row. That makes me very happy. And last but not least, I'm doing a little test from some of the idioms from the quiz yesterday. So the last one is to make a killing. What does that mean, to make a killing? What is that? And I'm not sure if I'm going to get deleted on YouTube for using that word. They're very strict here. As we experienced once with Carmen when she used a word that they didn't like and they deleted her comment. So crazy. Yeah, so what does it mean? I would love to make a killing. Yeah. So I think I've just given it away. What does it mean? I will pull up our first slide for today. Earn money quickly. Yeah, a lot and quickly. Exactly. 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 Okay, so nope, this is not, but I think I will use that. To earn a ton of money quickly. Exactly. So this slide is going to be the easiest slide we have ever done. In Italian, we say catch someone with their hands in the sack. Yeah, I think to catch someone red-handed, to catch somehow that reminds me of something in English too. Do you mean for number two to get or is that for which number, Michaela? Or is that Italian idiom for? To earn a lot of money instantly. Yuki, you've learned them. See, look at you. Okay, so let's go through these super quickly. For number two, yeah, to get caught red-handed, to get caught with your hand in the sack. I have to look that up. I'm not quite sure. I can't really think. Somehow that sounds sort of English, but I'm drawing a blank. All right, number one, play with fire. Two, get caught red-handed. Three, in hot water. Four, make a killing. Here are our definitions. A, be caught while doing something wrong. B, to take a big risk that could be dangerous. C, to be in serious trouble. And D, to earn a lot of money quickly. I'm smiling because, yeah, you know these guys. This is going to be the easiest matching exercise ever. So everyone is saying number one is B. And of course, you're all correct to play with fire, to take a big risk that could be dangerous, right? So if you make fake IDs or so as a criminal, fake identification cards, you're playing with fire. Maybe you will get caught, maybe you won't. What about number two, caught red-handed? Let's boogie on to that. This is going to be the most successful matching exercise that we've all done ever. So Alicia is saying two is A, Lorraine is saying two is A. Have I got any more A's? Most likely. If anybody else would like to answer, you're more than welcome to do so. Yuki's saying A for two. Caught red-handed. Two is A, to be caught while doing something. Exactly, right? And we said that it came from either Scottish or English law, where they would say that if you had KILLED someone, then maybe your hand was red and you were literally caught with your hand red because it was bloody. All right, number three. Thank you, Yuki and Alessio and Lorena, for keeping us on track. In hot water. So is actually C, exactly what everybody's guessed, to be in serious trouble. And last but not least, four, to make a killing, is to earn a lot of money quickly, to make a killing. He made a killing in stocks. He made a killing when he invested in my lessons. All right, exactly, Yuki. Four is D. All right, so that was that. I just thought it would be fun to kind of review and to see, because I know a lot of you were saying that yesterday that some things were new, so it was a little bit sort of overwhelming. But see, you've learned them. Look at you. Of course, 4 is D. Exactly. All right, let's move to a banner. We live in a and all of us live in different places for the most part, except for my three Italians. Hitoko's not here, so we don't have two Japanese, but we have people around the world. So the next question is interesting, I think. And do you feel safe in your city? And I ask this because the movie Pulp Fiction is set in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is a big city. Quite often, big cities are dangerous. And I was kind of curious to see in Los Angeles, like which city had the highest homicide rate. And I do not have this word. Homicide is when we have KILLING. S in a city. I've just sound if I don't know. Sometimes the 21st century is a little silly. It should be able to say homicide. Okay, when people get KILLED. So a homicide. So which city do you think? Do you feel safe in your city? First and foremost, let's go there first. So Milan is not safe anymore. Okay. And Alessio, how long would you say, like, how long has it not been safe? Is this like something within the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Was it always kind of unsafe? What would you say? I mean, you say anymore, so I think it once was. I was born in Marseille and never felt safe. Okay, really? Okay, what about in Paris? Because I think you're in Paris now. Yes, my village is very safe. Okay. Anybody else want to say whether they feel safe in their city or not? And then I'm going to have you guess, because I would think that New York City and I would think that Los Angeles would be the most dangerous cities in the United States, but they're actually not as far as homicides go. So let's see what you have to say. Our place is quite safe. We can still leave our homes unlocked, but not in the evening for security purposes. Okay, so during the day, you leave your doors unlocked. I would say yes, but it's better to sleep with your eyes open, or to keep your eyes open, to keep your eyes open, to keep a look around, to keep your eyes open. Good use of that, Lorena. Let's see. It is just related to the past 5 years. Okay. Buenos Aires, thank you, Mabel, is the biggest city of Argentina, and it is a little dangerous. So not so dangerous. Okay, so thank you for sharing, Yuki, but we are slightly in danger because of bears. Okay, so you have natural sort of dangers going around. Okay, so Los Angeles is not actually the worst per homicide. There seems to be 7 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. In New York, it's less. It's only five. Still, it's 5.8 per 100,000. But which city, according to to a ranking system, I'm not sure which, in 2023, which was the most deadly city in the United States? As a little trivia question. So it wasn't Los Angeles, it wasn't New York. Which was the highest homicide highest rate in the United States? Not now because the Venezuelan they are assassins and ask for payment to poor people. My town is safe too. Also, Florence is generally considered safe. So I'm not sure, Karina. So not now the Venezuela trend. I don't know what that is. They are assassins and so okay. So it's not safe anymore because and that's in Peru, right? Karina, I think you're in Peru. You're right. Sometimes New York is safer than Milan or Como. San Francisco. Okay, so we have guesses. We have San Francisco, Chicago. Okay, Chicago is pretty high. It's the second highest with 22.5 per 100,000, but it's not the highest. It is not the highest. And Houston, Texas, this surprised me, is 15.1. So I'm glad we decided not to go there this year. Any other guesses? We've got a couple of San Franciscos. We have a couple of Chicagos. The highest homicide rate in the United States happens to be the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. So just to put this in perspective, in Los Angeles, it's 7 per 100,000. And in Washington, D.C., it's 39.7. Crazy. Memphis, Tennessee, I think it's also pretty dangerous too, but it's not the highest. Ohio, not in Ohio. Washington, D.C., 39.7. So I was surprised by that. So I thought I would share that. So, but I was in our nation's capital years ago and felt very safe. But I guess it's kind of where you go. Maybe we got lucky. I don't know. Okay, so what I've got for us today, we have a little bit of a mix. I'm going to do kind of what we normally do on our Tuesday live streams, where I offer some vocabulary, then we put it into a story, and we kind of work through it that way. And I will try to turn this into a pronunciation practice on YouTube later this week. And then I have a couple of things. We'll do some polls. We'll learn some more vocab. We'll have some questions. So I'm going to kind of work through this film. I know that probably about 50% of you at least have not seen this film. So I always try to do this so that even if you've not seen the film, it's not like you're lost and you're kind of like, this is boring. Okay, so here's some vocabulary words that relate well to the movie that you can also use in your everyday life. Let me pull it up for us. I think we need slide number 2, and I need to pop over to here. Let's see if that's going to work. Exactly. Okay, so we have number 1, coincidence, and I will repeat that word. Coincidence. Number 2, miracle. Number 3, redemption. Number 4, transformation. And number 5, mercy, a word we had yesterday. How about Detroit? Yeah, I would think they're also very dangerous as well. But according to this list, Washington took number 1. So let's see. I'll go through the definitions real quick. So, A, something very good that seems impossible. B, getting a second chance after doing something wrong. C, two things happening at the same time by chance. So they just happen to happen. D, being kind or forgiving instead of punishing. E, a big change in how something looks or is. So, first answers coming in. Lorena's going with one is C. Letitia's going in with a one with C. What else do we have? Any other answers? One coincidence. Alessia says C. So Kaluna saying C. Okay, okay. Karina saying C. So yes, of course, one coincidence. C, two things happening at the same time. And we have a lot of sort of coincidences, or we have the situation, and this is going to lead us to our story. For those of you who know the movie, our story is going to be about Jules and Vincent when the gun was shot and neither of them got hit. And Vincent thinks it's a coincidence, and Jules thinks it's divine intervention. Thank you, everyone, for answering. That's awesome. Alicia is saying that two is A. Lorena is saying two is A. Leticia is saying a miracle is two is A. Everybody, I think, says two is A. Okay, cool. So A, something very good that seems impossible. Exactly, a miracle. It was a miracle that they didn't get shot. Three, redemption reminds me of the Bob Marley song, Redemption Song. I think it was Bob Marley. The Redemption Song. I think it's even called the Redemption Song. So number three, Leticia is saying three is B. What else have we got? We've got a C of B's coming in. Anybody else saying B other than Yuki? I feel like a I don't know, like somebody like like some sort of sports announcer, and there's a race. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Anyway, three, redemption. Absolutely. And if you need me to repeat any of these words, I'm more than happy to do so. Redemption. 3B, getting a second chance after doing something wrong. All right. 4, transformation. And all of these words, of course, you can use for different things in real life. It doesn't just need to apply to this movie. I have everybody guessing 4 is E, transformation, a big change in how something looks or is. So you can have a transformation if you do a lot of plastic surgery. You can have a transformation within, where you just change things you don't like about yourself or what's going on in your world. Mabel, you're right. 3 is B, and 4 is E. And guess what? Lorena and Yuki, absolutely. 5, mercy, which we had yesterday, is D, being kind or forgiving instead of punishing. To show mercy. And often we use show and mercy, to have mercy, to show mercy to someone, when they kind of screw up. So, all right. Mabel, yes, you're right. 4 is E, and then I think you're a little behind. Sometimes that happens when people start the lesson and they start from the beginning. Okay, so let's see. So I have a story for you. We have coincidence, miracle, redemption, transformation, and mercy. And this is the scene, like I said, in the film where Vincent and Jules go to a student's house where multiple students live, and something happens. So this is the situation. Here we go. Jules and Vincent were in the student's apartment when suddenly a gunman opened fire from the bathroom. Bullets flew everywhere, but amazingly, they were unharmed. Jules called it a miracle, while Vincent said it was a lucky coincidence. This moment gave Jules a feeling of redemption, as if he had been given a second chance to change his life. He thought about how he could transform from a gangster into an ordinary person. Later, Jules showed mercy to the man who was robbing the restaurant by sparing his life. So any vocab here that's not quite clear, what percentage would you say that you understood of the story? 0% is like, oh my gosh, please repeat this thing with an explanation first. And 100% is like, yoo-hoo, I got it all. So, what can you tell me? How much of the story did you understand? 0%, 10%, so 90%. Okay, unless you any questions with words? 75? Okay, okay. Any other numbers to get a feeling? And maybe what you can also do, 80, 80. Okay, okay. All right. And I think sometimes with these stories, I think when we have multiple names and stuff, it gets difficult. I know this from when we did our story with Greek mythology, our stories, our Greek mythology stories. The more names there were, the more complicated it felt. 78, I didn't chance to find this sentence. Okay, no worries. You didn't understand the final sentence. Okay, okay, okay. Didn't catch the final sentence. All right. And so maybe you can tell me what happened in the story because I know a lot of you haven't seen the film. So you can tell me what happened in this story. Two guys. And oh, by the way, I'm going to do folklore next week as a live stream. So if you have a cool folk story, like a story that has a nice meaning, something that you learn, an old story, please, please, please send me a DM on Instagram because I'm going to post a story today asking people to send me different folklores that they have in their countries so that they can be able to so that we can have a like maybe 7 different stories or so, or I don't know, 5 maybe, and then really focus. I would like to do a couple of months of these because I love these stories. It's so great to learn from other cultures. And so yeah, it, if you have anything in mind, please send it to me on Instagram. All right. So, burglar at the restaurant. There is a shooting incident. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Exactly. So, first, there was a shooting incident. Okay. So, Victor and Jules, the gangsters, they go to pick up Marcel's attache case. So, he had this case that opened up and everything was gold. We have no idea what was in the case, but it was obviously very important to Marcellus, who was the drug or the, let's say, the criminal boss. And so these young punks, these young kids had taken it and kept it. And Vincent and Jules went to get it. And excuse me. And so they went there and then they Killed 2 guys. And then there was one guy that was left over. And they didn't know there was an extra person in the bathroom. And this guy came out in our story just now started shooting. And he shot at Vincent and Jules, like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times. And none of the bullets hit them. So it was like, how did this happen? Because he aimed right at them. And so Jules felt that it was divine intervention, that it was something that was a miracle. And Vincent, who was more sort of pragmatic about things and more skeptical, maybe, he felt like it was just a coincidence. We got lucky. That's it. And so, but this made Jules feel like he wanted to redeem himself. This was a sign to him. I don't want to live this life anymore. I got this incredible opportunity and I don't want to waste it. Later on, they go to a restaurant. There's a burglary. I want this lucky day, right? Seriously. And so there was a burglary. And instead, because Jules in the past would have just taken them out, that's to Kill someone, he would have just taken them out. But because he wanted to change, because he was looking for redemption, he chose to let them go. Okay, that's the story. I'll read it again. It was the big occasion, a change in his life. Exactly. It was the occasion that changed his life. Exactly. And ooh, an attaché case. Couldn't catch this word at first. Yes. I don't know if it's in the story. Um, no. Okay. Life redirection because of the experience in the situation. Exactly. Exactly. So here's the story again. Take two. I hope it's easier this time. All right. Jules and Vincent were in the student's apartment when suddenly a gunman opened fire from the bathroom. Bullets flew everywhere, but amazingly, they were unharmed. Jules called it a miracle, while Vincent said it was a lucky coincidence. This moment gave Jules a feeling of redemption, as if he had been given a second chance to change his life. He thought about how he could transform from a gangster into an ordinary person. Later, Jules showed mercy to a man who was robbing the restaurant by sparing his life. And sparing someone's life means that to spare something means you don't do something. You have from Prince Harry, an heir and a spare, but that's like an extra. But if you, the verb is spare is an extra, but if you spare someone's life, that means that you don't take their life. You have this, yeah, to spare someone's life, spared his life. So didn't actually go through with something else, granted him his life, an extra chance in this case. So, understanding wise, just to get a quick feel, is it better, worse, anything else in here that caused problems? Spare, you show mercy. Yeah, he spared him, he showed mercy. He showed mercy by sparing. Exactly. Exactly. He showed mercy by sparing his life. Sorry. Okay. Understanding a little bit better this time, if I can get a quick heads up here, that would be awesome. And I will slowly move on to our next point. And let's see. So I think it is this. Okay. What are some examples of loyalty and betrayal in the movie Pulp Fiction or in life? Since I know a lot of you have not seen this film, but what are some examples of loyalty? What are some examples? Okay, Yuki, thank you for the feedback. I don't think in real life that someone who is an assassin to anybody for a payment could change their life. Maybe. I mean, Vincent couldn't. Vincent couldn't. It's probably very rare. Very, very rare. I agree with you. It'd be very difficult. But I guess that's another question. You know, can people really change? Is there a possibility for that? So, yeah, you can also answer that question if you like. Otherwise, we've got our next topic here. What are some examples? We'll just take a couple of minutes and move on from this. What are some examples of loyalty and betrayal? So the opposite of loyal is betrayal. Hey, Gracie, darling, welcome. What are some examples of loyalty and betrayal, either from the movie or in real life? So in the movie, at the end, the boxer Butch, he decides to rescue Marcellus. So he showed loyalty to him. He betrayed him because he was supposed to lose a fight, but he didn't. So he betrayed him once, and then at the end, when it was really important, he was loyal to him and he was able to walk away freely. That's an example. Also in the movie, John Travolta had this great chemistry, or Vincent, let's say. Vincent had great chemistry with Marcellus's wife. And he kept telling himself, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to stay here for a drink. And I'm just going to get out of here so that I do not betray Marcellus. Otherwise, in life, we can say examples of loyalty is being honest to someone, being like when somebody talks behind their back, sticking up for them and saying, don't say that. Loyalty in your partner, betrayal when you choose to break, your promise of loyalty. Exactly. Maybe this question's a little hard to answer in a live stream. I don't know. But I think loyalty, betrayal, vocabulary words, I just want to sink in. I think that probably you've got Got what it means. And let's move on to an easy poll question. Siblings betray their heritage. Hmm. Betrays an heritage. I'm not sure what that means exactly, Gracie. Siblings betray an heritage. Well, could you give me an example of that, please, if you don't mind? All right. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to pull up a poll clip question because I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this, about betrayal. Like, what for you is really like the worst kind of betrayal? What do you think? And how can we come back after someone has betrayed us? So, kind of important questions here. And I'm going to hop on over to here and let's see what you have to say. Loyalty from parents to children. Right. Loyalty when you choose her or him in everyday life, maybe. Yes. Or in every way. In every way. Okay. So, poll question. We've got it here. What's the worst form of betrayal? In your opinion? Oops, my little question's getting cut off here. When parents pass away and start the siblings. Aha. Okay, okay. So, Gracie, you're saying that when parents pass away, quite often, and this is unfortunately very true sometimes, right? That when parents pass away, the siblings start to fight over what is left, their inheritance. I will write that word. So, heritage is where you come from, and inheritance is what you get. Super mistake. Inheritance. Inheritance. Doop. So, inheritance. That's when parents pass away. This is the money, the assets, the whatever there is left over, inheritance. You can also inherit different genes. So, like if your mom has blue eyes, maybe you inherit her blue eyes. It's something that's passed down from one person to another. Okay, so Leah started answering already, and hey, Nick, welcome, welcome. Um, I lost Leah's answer somehow. It's gone. Oh no, there it is. A, B, and C. Okay. Friends sharing your secrets, partners being unfaithful, family members family members lying to you, a colleague stealing your idea. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pop your comment up, but hello, Nick. Hello, hello. You break. Okay. It happens in Italy too. Yes, yes. And I think it happens everywhere, unfortunately, with siblings. If the parents really need to define very specifically what goes to which child, otherwise things can get really bad. Worst form, worst case, worst situation. Yuki, I'm not sure I understand your question. Lorena saying B, partner being unfaithful. Definitely B for Alessio. Lots of people saying B. For me, the worst betrayal, the worst. Yeah, okay, okay. The worst form, the worst case, the worst situation. Those are all slightly different. Situation is a situation. The worst case, like the worst case scenario, what's the worst situation that can happen? Kind of the same thing. And the worst form, worst case of betrayal. In this case, type. The worst type of, so form meaning type, and not necessarily situation per se. Okay. As for me, the worst betrayal is when a person whom you expect to trust and help you is the one who is dragging you down. Definitely. Get away. The worst form depends on the situation. Everything is hard. Yeah, all of these are bad. All of these are bad. I've been in this situation in in that in those situations. That's what caused my trust issue. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that, dear. If you don't know the meaning of I don't know the meaning of worst form. The worst form, the worst type of betrayal. For me, the worst form is a son betrayal. What is that? A s- I'm not sure. A son betrayed. Oh, if your son betrays you, maybe? Okay, I think. We're all in this together, guys. Yes, we absolutely are. And sometimes people just do bad things. Hopefully, that person will one day come back to you and apologize at least. I have a question below here that is hard to see. So let's see. Do you think you can come back uh, after betrayal? Did I write that? Do you think trust can come back? Sorry. Do you think trust can come back after betrayal? Yes, son is betraying parents. Oh, that's horrible. So do you and like let's say how somebody so Kaluna for me too I've been betrayed big time and trust is a major thing to try to earn again for that person but also like with your future relationships it's very difficult to have trust again and to not think that the future person is going to do what the past person did, right? So it's very very difficult. Yes, always forgiving, absolutely not. No, never. The worst betrayal, oops, the worst betrayal also comes from family members, can very well be. Trust can come after betrayal, but it's not a simple reset. Definitely not. And I don't know. Oh, somebody's calling me. Let me just hang that up. Sorry. Let's see. And let's see. Hold on. I can't read. Trust sorry. Trust can come after betrayal, but it's not a simple reset. All of those, but I don't stand if B happens to me. You wouldn't, okay. You would not tolerate it for 1 second, I think, if B happened to you. We can always try a dialogue and forgive. No yellow card for that, right, Yuki? No yellow card for B, partner being unfaithful. I only have one red card. Me too. From now on, one red card. One strike, boom, you're out. Not like baseball where you get 1, 2, 3 strikes, then you're out. For me with that, with B, one strike, you're out. I have lived and learned, trust me, with that one. And I could say also from being in that situation with B, even if you forgive, you do not forget. At least I didn't. I always felt like, this can happen again. If you can do it once, you can do it twice. So the situation between forgiving and forgetting is really complicated. It's not, yeah, I don't know. I would rather forget, I think somehow. I forgive for my I'm going to cheat here. I really cannot see today, unfortunately, folks. I don't know. Sometimes with the lighting, sometimes it's really good and I can see pretty well. I forgive my for my inner peace, but not the betrayal. Yeah, it's for you for sure, right? To not hold on to that anger and that bitterness. Totally get that. Let's see. For the next person, actually, I always think positively about them in the beginning, but it is mostly the true colors. Um, oops, shoot, I lost it. Hold on. For the next person, actually, I always think positively about them in the beginning, but mostly their true colors surface by itself. Yeah. And hopefully the true colors surface early, right? In the relationship, not dealing with that nonsense for a long period of time. I mean, poor Peter, because I experienced B really badly. He's never done anything for me to not trust him. And I'm still sometimes like, who's that? Who are you talking to? You know? I can't. It's like I was so burnt. It's so hard to just be like, this is a different human. He's gonna make other mistakes probably. Maybe not the same ones, so first. It's really hard. Really, really hard. Okay, so Kaluna, darling, what are you saying? For me, it is hard. Hold on. Um, for me, it's hard to trust again, I think. Trust again people who hurt you badly. I don't know why I cannot see this today. Sorry, but I should not judge. I used to have this little tiny thing in here, and I don't have it anymore. Sorry, but I should not judge the future people and that I will meet. There definitely should be given a chance because I believe everyone is different. Yes, and they are. Right? The new person's going to make different mistakes. They're going to hurt you in different ways. Maybe not that same way. But for me and my brain, it's like, okay, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. It's around the corner. Oh, keep your antennae out. Do, 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 do. I always keep my running shoes very close if I need to run. And that's so unfair. Yes, forgive, but not forget. I agree. Okay. Let's see. That will happen again. 100%. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I would agree with Lorena. It is not really it's not healthy to hold a grudge. That's true too. Hey, Carmen, welcome. Better late than never. We always have to be alert. Yes. Ay, my eyes. Oof. I wish I could make this comment section bigger. I have my magnifying glass thingy, but it's not working anymore. Okay, let's see. So, Richard, you should definitely not be a soft person, uh, if that's a fact. Yes, I think try to trust. I mean, I've been together with a man for 9 years, right? At some point, I have to remember that what this other human did to me is not the same. It's not going to be the same, you know? Anyway, so, all right, I digress. Let's learn some vocabulary words. And all of you who are out there suffering from someone doing something horrible to you, I send you lots of love because it's not easy. It's so not easy to just walk around with that pain in your heart. I know it all too well. It's the worst. I think like Lorena and Kaluna about people that not betray. Trust can really can return, but it's never the trust. It's a it's a cautious version. Ooh, Michaela, I'm putting your comment up here because that's so true. It's never the trust that you had before. It's always some sort of cautious version. I love that. Super well said. Hello to you. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's move on to vocabulary words. All of us here seem to have experienced some different sort of situations that make us question whether we should trust or not sometimes. But let's move on. All right, here are some vocabulary words, and we'll go through these and see how they work for you. All right. I think I'm going to move this a little bit. There we go. So, number one, we have loyalty. So, of course, we have the opposite. We have disloyalty. Two, trustworthy. Three, backstab. Four, infidelity. And five, deceit. So, from those of you who happen to be from who speak languages that are Latin based, I would think that maybe at least one or two of these is going to be pretty easy for you. Here are our definitions. We have A, someone you can trust. B, not being loyal or faithful. C, secretly harming someone who trusts you. D, being unfaithful in a romantic relationship. E, lying or tricking someone. What can you tell me? What is the best one for number one for disloyalty? What can you tell me for number one? Some water. Yuki's saying B. Who agrees with Yuki for B? And I'm going to try to turn the lighting again. Maybe that will help my eyesight. We will see. Mabel, you're so kind. Yes, she is. Everybody here is so kind. We have such an amazing group. We're so lucky. Hey, Hatoko, darling. I have been watching, but I have trouble. I have trouble what? Like you to read the letters on the screen, so I will just listen. Sorry. Okay, sorry, sweetie. So we're both having a bad eyesight day. So everyone's saying one is B. All right. Hello to you, Poe. You're new in the audience as well. All right. So yeah, one of course is B. Disloyalty. B. Not being loyal or faithful. Disloyal. Disloyalty. Loyalty. Disloyalty. Loyal. Disloyal. All right. What can you tell me with number 2? Trustworthy. Trustworthy. We need to have a positive word in here, don't we? So absolutely, Mabel, 1 is B. So Leah's saying that 2 is A. What else have we got? Michaela's saying A. A. We've got lots of A's coming in. Leticia, cool. You're still here. I thought you had departed. Glad that you're still here. A. Gracie is the A. Okay. So everyone's saying A and posing A question mark. Absolutely. Trustworthy. 2 is A. Someone you can trust. They're trustworthy. So hopefully we're all together with partners that are trustworthy. Does it mean that they might be human sometime and do something wrong? No, even trustworthy people sometimes do wrong things. So it's a matter of finding this balance, I guess. Our teacher is trustworthy. Oh, I hope. Which teacher? Which one? All right. So we have people keeping us on track here. Thank you, folks. 3, backstab. Someone backstabs you. What does that mean? I have a lot of C's coming in. These seem to be pretty easy today, everything. So white lies. Ooh, I'm going to pop that one up. So white lies are the ones where like you ask your partner, do I look fat in these pants? And because they don't want to hurt your feelings, they say, no, but maybe, but it's a little cold outside. Maybe you want to put on a dress. So it's kind of a lie. Maybe you do look big in the pants. And so, yeah, they don't want to hurt your feelings. So that's often why we tell white lies. It's a very cool term. Thank you for using it, Kaluna. All right, 3C, absolutely. Backstab is C, secretly harming someone who trusts you. Thank you, Letitia, for keeping us in line here, going through these 4D. Mabel's saying D. What else have we got for number 4? What can you tell me? For infidelity. Infidelity. Absolutely. So 4 is D, infidelity, being unfaithful in a romantic relationship. Infidelity. And last but not least, and the way this word is written is kind of strange, so I'll say it a couple of times. Deceit. Deceit. And there's a deceit. 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 And last but not least, so 5, of course, deceit is E, lying or tricking someone. Yeah, don't fall for his deceit kind of thing. All right, so let's move on. Poll question, sticking with kind of negative things here, but it will get more positive. I promise, hang in there. But this is kind of like a heavy movie in a way. So let's see. So kind of keeping with sort of violent cities and stuff, we've got a poll question and I will pop on over to here. Which city is considered the most violent in the world based on homicide rate per 100,000 people? So if you were here earlier, you know one of these doesn't make sense. So A, Los Angeles, USA, B, Port-au-Prince in Haiti, C, Peter Maritzburg, Pita, I guess, Maritzburg, South Africa, and D, Colima, Mexico. Deceit is a new word for me. Awesome, cool. For you too, cool, cool. Yes. He is a master of deceit. So Alessio is saying D, Colima, Mexico. Any other guesses? The highest murder rate in the world. Gracie's saying C in South Africa. We have a B in Haiti from Lorena. Anybody else want to take a guess what they think is the highest homicide rate, right? Homicide. So Murder. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. So deceit, can you explain, please? Sure. D, Mexico, I've read there is a lot going on there. Yes, okay. So for those of you who have said Colima, Mexico, who have said D, you are correct. It's recorded as the highest homicide rate globally. This was in 2022 with about 140 people per 100,000, which, to put that into perspective, Washington, D.C. was 39.97, and that's the highest in the United States. So it was actually Mexico, Colima, Mexico. Maybe don't book a trip there. I looked for photos of Colima, Mexico, because I was curious to see what it looks like. And I stumbled across a travel agency that was offering vacations to there, thinking, what? It looks beautiful. It looks so beautiful, a big lake and sort of like a volcanic mountain. But evidently, it's not the most peaceful place, unfortunately. And yeah, so just to kind of pull this more into sort of a conversation type of question, what do you think makes this city so dangerous? So, what makes a city dangerous? What makes Los Angeles dangerous? Washington, D.C., maybe places in your country? What are some things that make a city dangerous? So, maybe we'll take 2 minutes for that. And I'm going to look for some more examples with deceit while you're answering. What makes a city dangerous? What kinds of things make a city dangerous? So let's see. So thief, I think thief, robbery, violence. I think that other cities aren't far behind, I think. Yeah, right, exactly. This is a list. That's true. Very good point, Lorena. The majority of these cities are somewhere at the top of this list for sure. Absolutely. Los Angeles, not so much. That one I put in just to kind of have something in the United States. But yes, these are all cities that are extremely, they have a very high homicide rate. Assassins, homicides, robberies, drugs, definitely. Drug dealers. Let's see what else you've got for me. Knife and gun attacks. I think drug transport transactions, gangsters, and somehow poverty. Yeah, poverty is a good one. That's definitely on my list. But when you have a lot of imbalances in the economic structure of a city, then you have, then you have violence. Inequality, exactly. Poverty, Mexico, drug dealers. So sexual service industry could be that as well. Yeah. Okay. So I think some okay, that was that. Dangers to a place because some do theft. Some people steal things. Drugs, mafia, yes, except for LA. Exactly. Exactly, exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. You're absolutely right. So, deceit, it means lying or tricking someone so they believe that something is not true. Excuse me. Yeah. So the thief used deceit. It's a noun, so you can deceive someone, you can lie, but deceit is the noun that we use for this. So it's not the use. He used deceit. I'm going to get some more sentences. Hold on. More sentences. This is one of these things I'm not able to think on my feet for. So we'll have our friend help us out a little bit. The friendship ended because she could not forgive his deceit. She could not forgive the lying, the deception, the deceit. As Columbia, yes, Yes, in Colombia, I think that that is a problem or was a problem. I don't know if it's still a problem. A lot of people go to Colombia nowadays and come back with very good experiences. I would really love to go to Colombia. Magician's tricks are fun, but they are based on harmless deceit. The film is about power, love, and deceit in a royal family. His deceitful, turning this into an adjective, deceitful smile made her suspicious. So I hope that helps with that word. Com communism, maybe? I don't know what that says. Is evolving in France, and because of this, we are not we have more and more violence. What is that first word? I can't see. Hold on, I'm gonna put it up here so I can see it a little bit better. Com common communitarianism. I've never heard of that. Help me out, darling. Teach me a new word. I have no idea what that is. Wow. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, dear. Please explain. All right, moving on to our next point, which I'm kind of know the answer since the majority of you have not seen this film. So let's see. Remove from studio, grab our next slide, and let's see. Oh, here. And I need to actually pop over to here. All right. How often do you watch violent movies? Discrimination. Yeah, maybe discrimination? I don't know. Yes, discrimination could be. Oh, and sorry, and I should say, so yes, of course, things that make a city dangerous, organized crimes, or organized crime in general, drug trafficking, poverty, as some of you said, socioeconomic as conditions. And another one I don't think we said, was political instability. So all of that, maybe, I don't know if Leticia, that's what yours is about, but maybe that is also something. These are reasons that contribute to having cities that have high crime. All right, how often do you watch violent movies? A, every day. Woohoo! B, a few times a week. C, a few times a month. D, rarely or never. Leah, B, a few times a week. Really? Okay, populism. I don't know. Populism? Is that, you mean, so like in this case where you have sort of an uprising of the right and that kind of thing with populism, that could cause crime? Most definitely could, against people who are unpopular, I guess. So Yuki never kind of figured. A few times a month, B. All right. Is crime investigation documentaries considered violent crime films? Of course, because I like watching those. I would kind of think it is in a way, right? You know, I think a lot, it seems to be one of these things where also I heard that that typically it's women that like to watch serial killer documentaries. I don't know why. Ladies out here, out in the audience, and gentlemen, do you watch serial killer documentaries, maybe on Netflix or something like that? If you do, let me know, because evidently ladies like the serial killer documentaries, which I think are violent. I'm going to kind of say yes. But you know, I'm not a dictator here. You go with what you like. D, but not. It is not easy to avoid them because violence and sex are everywhere. C or D? Okay, sorry, D. I like action movies. All right, Mabel. D, never from Carmen. Populism is a kind of political party full of, what does that say? Corruption. Corruption. Okay. Yes, then definitely. Most definitely. Criminal Mind, Bones. I love crime programs. C, because my husband loves violent movies. All right. I don't like violent movies. Okay. So Me neither, I have to say. And in the 90s, there were a lot of extremely violent movies that came out. Like, I don't know if any of you know the movie Natural Born Killers, but that was so brutal. And there was that one, and then there were a couple of other ones that came out, a lot of Tarantino films. At least they have a little in between. They tried to do these like sort of humane moments, but I can't watch violence. Like I watch it like I watch a horror movie. I can't watch it. It disgusts me. It makes me feel very sick inside. So my question to you below that's half chopped off, what does watching violent movies do to you? And maybe you can also tell me the most violent movie you've ever seen. Because for me, the thing that pops in my head is Natural Born Killers. It was so violent. It was so, yeah. For this reason, I don't feel safe around women. VHH, yeah. Now you know, Alessia. Now you know. I prefer innocent comedies. Yeah, rom-coms. I like documentaries. I'm so boring. I'm amazed at how detectives solve the investigation, especially those cold cases. That's why I really like watching it. And the process keeps you intrigued. I get it. I totally get it. Like, how are they going to figure this out? Totally. It's not for the violence. It's for the problem solving. C from Karina a few times a month. I don't like the brutal films at all. Yeah, me neither. So Gladiator 2 was one that I last saw. Okay, thanks for sharing. Can anybody else tell me a brutal film that you've seen, a really violent movie that you saw, or also or you can tell me what violent movies do to you. So, like if I watch a violent film, it makes me feel sick inside. I feel literally physically sick. I can't watch it. There's no way. Final Destination. I've not seen that one. All right. So that was a brutal movie. Anybody else want to share? Go ahead, no problem. If not, I will slowly move on to some more vocab. These will also be pretty easy. We've had one of the words today, one yesterday, and two yesterday. So these are going to be very easy. We'll go through quickly. I have a heart attack. Right. Saying no, it actually I don't have a heart attack, but it makes me feel sick. I feel physically ill. Like I feel like I'm going to get sick when I see other people get hurt. I quite enjoy it. Okay, cool. Alessio, oh, we have something in Italian, I think, or my eyesight is really that bad. Alessio sono I don't know. The Yellowstone series. Yeah, I watched that next to Peter. He was watching that. Yeah, Mabel, that was really violent as well. That was incredibly violent. I agree. Okay. So, but it seems like nobody has seen Natural Born Killers. If you like violent films, be my guest and let me know what you think. Very curious to hear what you have to say because for me, that movie, I think that was the last violent movie I watched sort of willingly. Okay, vocabulary words that we'll kind of go through right quickly. These are words that hopefully you never need in life. 1, hitman. 2, robbery. 3, revenge. Revenge. 4, crime scene. 5, homicide. A place where a crime happened. B, a criminal who kills for money. C, hurting someone because they hurt you. D, taking something from someone illegally, often with force. And E, an act of killing another person. So, number one, what have we got for hitman, please? And actually, my apologies to those of you, especially so to Hitoko and to Yuki, for this topic right now. This is really not a nice topic to listen to right before you go to bed. So, my apologies. Peaky Blinders is a violent series on Netflix. Yes, I started that, didn't watch very much, but that's a kind of I can't do no. I don't like to see people get hurt. Okay, 1, hitman. B, exactly, a criminal who kills for money. Who KILLS for money. All right, number 2, robbery. What can you tell me about a robbery? Which one works best for that? Number 2, robbery. Excuse me. Two, robbery. Robbery. A robber is the person he robs. It is a robbery. Two, Kaluna is saying D. We'll go through these pretty fast. Easy by now. So 2D, we have robbery, absolutely taking something from someone illegally, often with force. And Mabel, you're right, one was B. Number 3, revenge. What can you tell me for number 3, please? Number 3, Kaluna is saying C. Who agrees with Kaluna? Going through this rather fast. So, Carmen, you're right. 2 is D. 1 was B, 2 is D, and 3 is C. Exactly. Revenge, hurting someone because they hurt you. Revenge. 4, crime scene. Crime scene. 4, we have A coming in. Okay, so for those of you who like the crime sort of movies or documentaries or series or whatever, then crime scene 4 is A, the place where a crime happened. And last but not least, hello, Renata, darling, welcome. Number 5, homicide, homicide, homicide. 5 is E, of course, the act of killing, of Killing, another person. So familiar words because of what I love to watch. Exactly. This is absolutely your list of words. Okay, so moving on, and then I have what I'm kind of doing a couple of sections so that I read to you a bit of something. Let me remove this and hop over here, and then it leads into kind of another topic. So this is a scene as well from the movie Pulp Fiction. Listen, let me know how much you understand. Very short. Hey, Juan Carlos, nice to see you. We have a lot of people popping in later on. Hello, dear. I'm working, but joining for a bit. That's nice. Okay, we're talking about Pulp Fiction. For those of you who are joining, the majority of the people here have not seen the film. So here are little bits and pieces to bring us in. Here is a scene, okay, from the movie. The wolf is a character in Pulp Fiction who helps solve difficult problems quickly and professionally. The Bonnie situation is a chaotic event in the movie where Vincent and Jules must clean up a messy accident before anyone finds out. Sorry, Jen, can you see my comments? Yeah. Yes. Did you write something and I didn't see it? I can scroll up and see. Maybe I missed one of your comments. If you wrote the word Kill, they probably deleted it. Unless, no, I haven't. Hmm. I don't know. The last comment that I can see from you is C or D. You guessed for one of the poll things, I guess. Or B, 1B. Yep, no, I see you. You're here guessing. I gotcha. You're here. Okay, so we have the scene in the movie. An accident happens. This was a scene where this guy unalives. This is the word you use on YouTube so that you don't get your your stream kicked off. Is somebody else by accident, and then they have to clean up the mess in the car. They call in a specialist. This guy's name is the Wolf, and he fixes things. Okay, so just kind of giving you a little bit of feedback. And in this movie, he's so cool. He comes in. They have a time pressure because the guy where they park the car, I cannot see the comments of the others. Oh, really? That's super strange. Maybe go out and come back in. See if that works. That's so strange because I see your comments. I see others' comments. So maybe there's something strange and I don't know. Take a look and see. Maybe hop out and hop back in. But thank you for letting me know. I'm always interested. You can see the sun's coming in, right? I just got really, really pale. I need to get curtains. I really need to get curtains. All right. So yes. So leading to this, my banner question for you: are you kind of like the wolf? When things go wrong, are you able to keep your cool? Right? Do you stay calm in a crisis, or do you panic? Maybe it is a problem with my connection. Oh no, Gracie, you can't see them either. Okay. Hmm. I see your comments, Lorena. Strange, but it's strange that Gracie has the same situation. Lorena and Gracie, have you gone out and come back in? Let me know, please. Very strange. It's okay for me. Okay, I can see the other. I can't see the other comments. Yes, I will try with another device. Maybe it's something with the words we're using. I try to stay calm. Okay. Yeah, so I try to stay calm too. I can see. Okay, good. You can see Lorena's comments as well. I typically panic first, I have to say, in all honesty. Panic and then get my act together. I'm kind of a, oh my gosh. My kids always, they always make jokes because they call me. They will call me up and they'll be like, Mom, uh, I don't want to oops. I don't want to worry you or don't be scared. And you in my opinion, you shouldn't call someone and say don't freak out. This is what they say, don't freak out, because in the minute between the milliseconds between don't freak out and whatever you tell me, I am freaking out. My head is thinking of 500 different scenarios that have gone wrong. So, and they're usually really horrible, very violent. So my kids, have told them, just tell me the situation and say I'm okay. Don't freak out is the worst thing to say because in my brain, I'm panicking. I have to panic first and then I can calm down. So sorry, Jen. I'm too sleepy to stay up. Sleep well, Yuki, darling. I used to panic, but now I'm calm. You're calmer with age. It depends on the context. Okay. I can be calm in health emergencies, but in betrayals, no. Okay. But I'm very good in health emergencies. That's good. I think I panic in everything first. I stay calm. That doesn't surprise me, Renata. My friends say that my danger gauge is broken. That's so funny. Yeah, but I could totally see you staying calm. Calm outside, but inside you're panicking. Okay, stay cool as a cucumber on the outside, but inside you're panicking. I only panic if my children are in danger. Fair enough. I panic internally, but sometimes I stay calm just for just as a facade. Good night. Yeah, good night, Yuki. Good night, Yuki. I try to be calm to give the example to my girls, but I can't stand the sight of blood, of an accident or violence. Okay, fair enough. All right. So this is kind of we're going into sort of a happier zone now. So where things are a little bit more positive in our lesson because Jules has this redemption and he does decide that he wants to become a better person and to not live a life of crime, which we've all kind of said is a very difficult thing to do once you have started that. And so let me pop over to here and see what that is. So we have some more idioms. The time is of the essence. A clean slate, which we had yesterday. By the skin of one's teeth. So A, start fresh. B, hurry up. C, almost fail or barely succeed. What can you tell me works best with one? Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. I can't stand the sight of blood from an accident. I faint. Ah, okay. That's serious then. Okay. Yes, blood. We do panic first. Juan Carlos, my dear, you're saying one is A, and we'll go through these pretty quickly. So start fresh. Oh, sorry. Hold on. What do I have? Sorry. Time is of the essence. Number one, 1B. All this is new. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, finally, we have some new ones. So, okay, Juan Carlos has changed his answer to B as well. We had a cardiac emergency with a patient in the office. Hold on. I asked the doctor to leave the room because he was panicking. The ambulance came quickly. No way. But that makes sense somehow. It's not good, but okay, Renata. Yes, okay. Wow. So you stayed calm. The doctor panicked. Then the ambulance came. Yeah. All right. No comment, but I know where you're at. So 1B, everybody's saying 1 is B. Of course, time is of the essence. B, hurry up. So you could say to your kids in the morning, they're dragging their feet, they're not getting their clothes on. It's time to go. Time is of the essence. Time is important. We need to get going. Come on, let's go. Time is of the essence. So you don't know any of them. Good. Cool. Number 2, a clean slate. We had this one yesterday. So for those of you who were around yesterday, this one should not be new. So a clean slate, we said that 1 is B, 2, Lorena's saying A, Michaela is saying A. And for those of you who weren't here yesterday and don't know, go with Lorena and Michaela because they were here. So 2, a clean slate is A, to start fresh. You start from scratch. You start from you start over, actually you restart something, not start from scratch. That's to start from the very beginning. You've never done anything. So 2, let's say a clean slate, you start, you restart something. And it comes from the times when people did not have paper, quite often in schools. And so the children would have this gray material, a stone slate, which you can also put on a roof, and they would write with chalk on it, erase it. And a clean slate means that you start something new. Now I'm going to jail to assist psychology of prisoners, and I have to keep calm and be cold. Really, Gracie? Wow, that's an impressive job. Wow, that would be very difficult, I would imagine. How do you do that? You know, we think that when you come home, you need to just detox or de-stress or so. That must be very stressful. I learned the expression yesterday. Yay! Okay, and last but not least, of course, 3. So Leticia, yes, a clean slate is to start fresh. Exactly, a clean slate. Somebody tells you your problems and you're like, don't worry about it. Let's have a fresh, clean slate. Let's get over it. Start again. Do something new. Time is of the essence. Yalla in Arabic. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Last but not least, by the skin of one's teeth, almost fail or barely succeed. So in this case, John passed the test by the skin of his teeth. So he barely passed it. Maybe he got a half a point or 1 point, and then he was able to pass. He passed it by the skin of his teeth, meaning that he barely passed it. Okay, moving on to another section here. Let's see what we're going to do really quickly. I think I'm going to jump something. Okay, skip something. All right. So I'm going to read another section. This is another episode in the movie. Okay. And so listen, look for words, look for phrases, things that make sense, don't make sense to you. And here we go. Vincent, the gangster, is a gangster who works for Mia Wallace's husband, Marcellus. Marcellus asks Vincent to take Mia out for dinner, and they enter a dance contest at the restaurant. They have fun together and have really strong chemistry. Later, Mia accidentally overdoses on drugs, and Vincent must act quickly to save her life. So I'm throwing in a little bit of reading passages, keeping the movie somehow, some way in focus here. And what can you tell me? Everything okay? Percentage of understanding, 0%, 100%. How much of this section did you understand? If you would like to recap it for me, to summarize it, you're more than welcome to do that as well. I'm losing my voice. Actually, I have some throat lozenges. I'll take a throat lozenge. It's going to clinky and clanky around in my mouth, but you know. So what can you tell me? How much of the story did you understand? Lorena, are you back with comments? And Gracie too. What happened to Mia? Is she safe? Yes, she survives. Good question. 80% Mabel. Okay. Okay. What can you tell me? No, I have a little chickmunk too. So Vincent has to help her for her overdose. Absolutely. 90%. Very cool. Love hearing how you describe it. Exactly. So this gangster, one of Marcel's guys, Marcel asks Vincent to go to dinner with his wife, Mia, who's played by Uma Thurman. 100%. And also, they did a good job in the dance floor. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They entered a dance contest. Sorry. 70%. I'm kind of slow today in listening comprehension. No stress. We have days like that, and it's good that you cut yourself some slack. There are days like that. It's not, no worries. You're fine. Okay. So yeah, so Vincent goes to dinner with the boss's wife, which is strange. Like, why would a gangster boss guy ask one of his guys to be able to go to dinner with his wife? Anyway, they do. And so my better question for you is this, because this is such a strange request, I find. So, would you risk, oh, nope, that's not it. Would you take your boss's partner out for dinner if they asked you? And what do you think it would be like? Like, I think that's so strange that he would ask him to do that. They go out for dinner and she consumes drugs afterwards. Exactly, Lorena. Exactly. Lorena, can you see the comments again? And Gracie as well. I haven't seen that film, but I love her. She is a legend. Totally. You should totally see the film. I don't know how old you are, but if you're old enough, you should see this film. Sorry. Okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. Or I need to get like little tiny ones. Would you take your boss's partner, whoever your boss is, would you take them out or not? Would that be strange or would that be normal? Have you ever met your boss's partner? Had the boss a reason for asking Vincent to dinner with his wife? They never say in the film. They never say why, because he's also not really a likely candidate for this. This is not like he was like really like, the nice gangster guy. He's like a real gangster thuggy kind of guy. So no, there's never a reason why that happens. It's kind of interesting. I have no problem with my connection. Okay. So you can see the comments and everything is okay. That is strange, I think is supposed to be what that is. It's kind of weird, and the situation would be definitely awkward. But if the wife is outgoing and it is not out of reach, maybe it would work. Yeah, and in this case, they really got along. I'm friends with the boss's wife. Okay, so maybe you'll even go shopping together. I will hope that she won't fall for him. Nope, she didn't. She didn't fall for him. 80%. So you understood 80%, or you have 80% comments. I'm not sure, Carmen, what that means. No, 80% you understood. Okay. So moving on to idioms, and then one final question, and then we're out of here. So idioms for this. Let's see. And some of these we had yesterday as well. So I've tried to add a lot of review because we all know reviewing things helps it stick in the old brain. So let me hop over to here and let's see. I would accept and add the way I would accept. And by the way, my former boss asked me, and he did it and took it normally. Gracie, your former boss asked you to go to dinner with his wife, or he asked you to go to dinner with him? Which one? We want to know. I don't know, because in France, that is not done. We separate places like life and work. Okay. So Leticia, in France, would you say that that you that your workmates are your workmates and your friends are your friends, and you don't really have this intersection of friends that become like workmates that become friends. Sometimes they are very busy and tired, and their couples demanding that is why they asked you to do that. Okay. All right. Okay, interesting. All right, Gracie, so that happens. Cool. Why not? I mean, if it's not like somebody who, like as somebody said earlier, if the person is cool and open, then maybe make a new friend. It's good to be friends maybe with a wife. Maybe that helps you at work. I don't know. All right. Number one, flirt with danger. Two, on the edge. Three, caught off guard. Four, cross the line. And I put this one on here because there are actually two meanings. A, go too far. B, surprised by something unexpected. Yes, that's correct. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I've missed something. Sorry. C, in a tense or dangerous situation. And D, take a big risk. So, which one is the best one for flirt with danger? Let's see. Sometimes they are very busy. Okay, that was that. Both Jojo, Jojo, yeah, yeah, they were not from here. I'm not sure what that means. Yes, it's correct. Aha. So in France, people typically have work friends and they have friends, and you do not church and state do not mix. All right. Thank you for sharing, dear. I like these cultural things, especially because in the States, everyone we meet, we call them a friend, basically. So it's my friend. So having a tequila with a boss can be good. It can, right, Juan Carlos? Having a tequila or two or three could be very good. And so, okay, everybody's saying one is D. To flirt with danger is D, to take a big risk. Yeah, you flirt with danger. So if you're a gangster, you're flirting with danger all the time. I can flirt with danger when I drive my car too fast because I have gotten a ticket before, a speeding ticket that was so bad that I actually lost my license for 1 month. So that's flirting with danger when you drive too fast. Two, on the edge. What can you tell me for number two, please? On the edge. Edge. And this is kind of a weird word because edge, that kind of D kind of gets cut off, edge, and it becomes a J sound. So Kaluna saying two is C. Anybody agree with Kaluna? Two is C, one is D, two is. Michaela's saying C. Let's get one more answer at least, and then we will continue on. So it is very weird that your boss asked you to go with his wife, especially if she is Uma Thurman. Yeah, I think it's strange. It's very, yeah. I don't understand why Marcellus would do that. Anyway, it was never explained. So lots of C's coming in. Exactly. Okay. So on the edge, to C, in a tense or dangerous situation. He's on the edge these days. He doesn't know whether he is going to lose his job or not. So he's in a tense and complicated situation. If you're a soldier, you're constantly on the edge. If you are a gangster. If anybody wants to use any of these in a sentence, you're more than welcome to do so. Number three, caught off guard. And these are all really idioms that native speakers use all the time. So if these are new, then that's good to hear them because then you have them in your ear already. Kaluna, you're my fast lady today. So you're slow listener, fast typer. So Kaluna saying three is B, Mabel saying B, Lorena saying B, Leah saying B. So yeah, let's say three is B. Three, caught off guard. B, surprised by something unexpected. He caught me off guard when he gave me 5 roses. Let's make it better. When he gave me 50 roses, he caught me off guard. I had no idea. He caught me off guard. So, yes, turning something positive in here. Mm, sorry. Number 4, cross the line. So obviously, last but not least, number 4, we have A, cross the line to go too far. We had this one yesterday. He crossed the line. The students crossed the line in Pulp Fiction when they kept Marcellus's attaché case, when they held on to it and they didn't give back his property. They crossed the line. They went too far. For me, it was strange. They were new in my place. So he asked me to show him around. Okay. It's a very trusting boss or very open boss. Very open, I would say. Or, yes, exactly. And so she had to travel. Okay. So, and cross the line can also be so cross the line, you go too far. And if somebody crosses the line, maybe crosses the finishing line, then they finish something. So, two meanings here for the one in pink, cross the line. So, cross the line, go too far, or cross the line, meaning that you made it, you did something, you finished the project, you crossed the line. So, two idioms for one. Yeah, you're welcome. Everything depends on the context, definitely. So I hope you had fun with her. I hope it was a fun evening. Flirt with danger is different from play with fire. They're similar. They're very similar. So I wouldn't worry too much. He flirts with danger every time he walks across the street. Well, yeah. Oh gosh, this is one of those where I've got to like plays with fire. I have to think about that one. I'm going to write it down. So play with fire. If anybody's clever enough to think of something right now, play with fire, please do so. Otherwise, verse, flirt with danger. I'm not sure. I would say they're very, very similar at the moment. Cross the line could it mean to involve, yeah, invading other boundaries. Absolutely. Yeah, he crossed the line when he asked me how old I was, right? Sometimes when I'm in live streams, I will have people and they'll say, "Can you teach me English for me for free?" And I'm like, "You're crossing the line. I do 3.5 hours at least of English lessons for free every week, and that's not enough. Excuse me." So yes, absolutely, can invade someone's boundaries. Definitely, if people ask sensitive questions, that crosses the line. I'm sorry, but that crosses the line. I don't appreciate that question. A nice way, actually, of saying that you think that what they've said is completely inappropriate. All right. So last question, little fun thing here, and then we will continue on. Don't play with fire because you might get burned. Yeah, that's a good one too. Absolutely. Okay. So, ooh, see, the sun is out. I get really, really pale. I start blending in with my furniture. Like, where's Jen? It's like, find Jen. Okay. So let's see. Last question. And just as something fun, because in this movie, in Pulp Fiction, they have those iconic dance scene where they're dancing and they do this whole thing. And then, so my question to you is, what's the best dance scene you've ever seen in a movie? Just as something fun. Our ex-president crossed the line when the judge was in our cause appeared. Okay, hold on. So Gracie, our ex-president crossed the line when the judge that was in our case maybe passed away maybe? I think that's what you mean. Play with fire is the same expression in France. Aha, here we go. I'm going to kill this French term. Sorry. Jouer avec le feu. Exactly the same. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Pretending it was out. Ooh, okay. So he made sure that he made it look like a judge unalived himself, but actually it was him doing it. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in Grease. Yeah. So maybe the last scene from Grease. Oh, Mabel, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm so sorry that this was a topic that was not for everyone. And like I said, next week we're going to do folklore from around the world. So I know we have Polish, we have Burmese, we have Argentinian, we have Italian, we have all kinds of people from all over the world here today. So please send me a DM if you don't mind with your favorite story that comes from your culture, something that's like that we can cover, because I would like to do a series of stories from around the world where we can learn English, kind of like what we did when we did Greek mythology. And so I would love your favorite story, one that has like a nice tale and way more positive than this live stream. Sorry. But yeah, I thought to flirt with is used only in relationships and didn't know that it could be used for driving. In Japanese, there is exactly the same expression, play with fire. So also in Japanese as well. Cool. So in French and Japanese, we have play with fire. Yeah, you can flirt with danger. You can flirt with anytime you're kind of like dancing around it and kind of, sorry, sort of entertaining or trying to pull it into, you're sort of flirting with it. So yes, you can use it not only for just relationships, but flirting with danger, flirting with yeah, a beating? No, I don't know. Flirting with, you could just, whenever you're trying to get the attention of something, and it can be positive or negative. The only part you, oops, hold on. I think I'm missing lots of different things here. Mm. So let's see, High School Musical comes to mind. There are a lot of singing and dancing. There's a lot of singing and dancing with A Love Story too. Yes, High School Musical. I thought, okay, that was that. The only part I know of this film is the dance, right? Everybody knows the dance, I think. Now, uh, our ex-president is in prison. In prison. Gracie, is he in prison because of that, or because of multiple things? That's just one of them. I've read that play with fire is more serious, while flirt with danger is slightly lighter or more daring, but they are interchangeable. Michaela, I'm popping this up because I love that explanation. Absolutely. So flirting is a little less intense and playing is more direct. Definitely. That's a perfect explanation for that. Wherever you found that out, bravo, and thank you for doing that. Exactly. But they're often used interchangeable, like you said. But if you need to put a degree, flirting is a little lighter than playing. Yeah, thank you, dear. Okay, so sorry, Juan Carlos, what do you have to say? Current Tarantino, I think, movies. They are always very bloody, not I can't see. When the lighting changes in here, so does my eyes. Here we go. Near no bloody near where I live is a restaurant that reminds me of that movie. Do you mean the movie, was it A Dusk Till Dawn, maybe? Or do you mean in the movie The Diner in Pulp Fiction? I'm not sure, Juan Carlos, what you mean. We learned a lot of something. If you, we learned a lot of despise if you like or not the topic. Despite, aha, good, I'm glad. All right, so yes, the final dance scene from Dirty Dancing. Right, that's what I think of actually, is the final dance scene where she goes flying into his arms. Totally. In Argentina, play with fire is used too. So we have it in Spanish, we have it in Italian, we have it in French, and we had it in another language that I'm now drawing a blank. Okay, that happens. Anyway, folks, I sincerely appreciate your time for spending an hour and 44 minutes with me today. Thank you, as always, for our private little comfy community where we get to explore all kinds of topics we love, topics we really get. Sometimes we don't really understand them at all. They're not our thing. But thank you for always being open and for giving it a shot and for expressing yourselves and sharing about your community. really feel like what we do here, this is what the internet was made for us people to come together. So yeah, and be able to bond and get to know each other. So next week will be a nicer topic. Like I said, if you have any kind of wonderful story from your country that you would like to share with me, some sort of folk story like Greek mythology, but something that's within your culture that maybe has like a lesson to learn or something like that, please send me a DM, and I will add it to my list because I do want to start a series. I really loved our Greek mythology lesson, and so I would really like to kind of do one of those like every 6 weeks and go through a lot of different countries. So please, if you'd like to participate, write me on Instagram. I have to leave. Take care, darling. See you very soon, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Kaluna. Like and subscribe. Here, I'm going to pop this up. Yes, please like and subscribe. I'm the worst at this. It's always, yeah, I don't know. So hopefully you liked, hopefully you subscribed, and hopefully to see you all next week and that you all stay healthy and that continue to be the kind people that you are. Take care. Bye.